Hi, good day everyone. Today we'll be doing May-June 2019, paper 2, number 7, right? Which is typically sequence questions. Usually they would bring you a table and stuff, but I'm looking at this question. They did not. They brought it a little bit different, right? But no fear. Let's read the question and see what they ask. They said the nth term Tn of a sequence is given by, so they gave you what is the formula for the nth term, right? Usually we are accustomed with saying an, right, is equal to whatever, but in this case they told you what it's Tn, right? The nth term. Show that the first of the sequence is 1. So if they tell you the first term, that means that the n is equal to 1. If they said the second term, that would mean n is equal to 2. So we know that n is equal to 1, and you're putting it in this formula. Tn is equals to 3n squared minus 2. So wherever we see n, we're going to put 1. So your first term, T1, is equals to 3 by 1 squared minus 2. Right, we always do brackets first. 1 squared is 1 by 1, which that's 3 by 1 minus 2. That is 3 by 1 is 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. And this right here is just how you would show that your first term in the sequence is 1. Right? Then they say, what is the third term of the sequence? Meaning that n is equal to 3. So we're finding for the third term, that's T3, where we know that Tn is equals to 3n squared minus 2. That would be T3. So wherever we see n, we're putting 3. That's 3 open bracket 3 squared minus 2. So we always follow BODMAS, which means we have to do brackets first. That's 3 multiplied by 3 squared is 3 3s are 9 minus 2. Always do, if we're following BODMAS, we did brackets and the power first. There's no division, there is a multiplication, so we're doing multiplication first. 9 3s are 27. 27 minus 2 is equals to 25. So there's no addition, so we did the subtraction last. So your third term is equal to 25. Right? So instead of them putting it in a table, they're just asking you certain sequences, right? Part 3, given that Tn is equals to 145, what is the value of n? So they're telling you that Tn is, which is equals to 3n squared minus 2, right? So 3n squared minus 2 is equal to 145. And they said, listen, I want you to, hold on, let me just change that 5. I want you to tell me the value of n, meaning we have to make n the subject of the formula. Now, we know BODMAS is the order in which we carry out our operation, but when you have to make something the subject, we go backwards. So you look to see if the question has subtraction. It does. So subtraction is the first thing we're going to carry across. That tells us which one we have to carry across first and the order in which we would carry across stuff, right? So it would be 3n squared. The opposite of minus 2 is plus 2. So it will be 145 plus 2. So that's 3n squared is equal to 147. Then we know there's no addition. There is multiplication. The relationship between 3 and n squared is actually multiplication. So you're going to carry across multiply by 3 over the equal sign. The opposite of multiply by is divide. So it's going to be 147 divided by 3. Let's just divide that. 147 divided by 3 is equal to, I believe that is 49, but let me just check. 147 divided by 3. Yes, it is equal to 49. Right? So n squared is equals to 49. We do not want to find n squared, we want to find n, right? Now, we are going to carry across the square root sign over the equal, which is your power. There is multiplication. There was no division. There was no brackets, so we have to do the off. which is power of. So you're going to carry across squared, and the opposite of squared is square root. So you're going to find the square root of 49. Square root of 49, n is equal to 7. So what is the value of n? N would be equal to 7, and that is how you would do this question. Right? So this is the second part, or part B in question 7. They said the first 8 terms of a sequence with the n term is un are 1, 1, 2, 3. All right. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21. Where un, that's the n term, is equals to 1. The second term is equal to 1. They give you the formula for the n term. Remember, un means your n term, right? So this is your n term, would be u open bracket n minus 1 close bracket plus u open bracket n minus 2 close bracket. For n is more than, no, that's more than, yeah. For n is more than or equal to 3. For example, the fifth and seventh term are, so u5 would be, let me just show you guys how they did this, right? They told you that un is equals to u open bracket n minus 1 plus u open bracket n minus 2. So if they said u5, that means n is equals to 5. So wherever we see n in the sequence, you're going to put 5. So u5 will be equal to u open bracket, n is 5, so it's 5 minus 1 plus u open bracket 5 minus 2. So it's u5 would be u4, 5 minus 1 is 4, plus u5 minus 2 is 3. And that is how they got this here. Now, if you look at this, right, this is your first term, this is the second term, this is your third, this is your fourth, this is your fifth, this is your sixth, seventh, eighth. So if I say u4, my fourth term is 3, and my third term is 2. So that's how I got 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. I'm just explaining this here, right? Write down the next 2 terms in the sequence, that is u9 and u10. Right? So if they ask in u9, that means n is equals to 9, and you're going to put it in this formula. They gave you the formula. un is equals to n minus 1 plus, this is u open bracket n minus 2. So that is u9 is equals to u open bracket n minus 1, 9 minus 1 plus u open bracket 9 minus 2. So again, wherever I saw 9 in my formula, wherever I saw n in my formula, I put 9. Right? So that would be u9 is equals to u9 minus 1 is 8. So that's u8 plus u7. Now, if you look at this, what is my 8th term? That's 21 plus u7 is 13. So my u9 term is going to be equal to 21 plus 13 is what? 3, 4, 34. So u9 is equals to 34. And then we're going to do the same thing for u10. Right? u10 means n is equal to 10, and you put it in this formula here. Let's underline the formula that they gave us. Right? So it's going to be, let's put this in black, equals to u open bracket 10 minus 1 plus u open bracket 10 minus 2. So that is u9, 10 minus 1 is 10, 10 minus 1 is 9, sorry, plus u10 minus 2 is 8. Right? Now, if we know, we already found out the 9th term. So the 9th term is 34, right? So u9 is 34, plus u8 from the sequence above, we see that is 21. So we know that U10 would be equals to 45345 is equals to 55. And that is how you got to write down the next two terms in a sequence, that is U9 and U10. Right? The two terms would be U9 is 34 and U10 is 55. Part 2 says, which term in the sequence is the sum of U18 and U19? Right? So again, we know that UN is equals to UN minus 1 plus UN minus 2. And they want to know the total sum of the 18 term and the 19 term. So this would be U19 plus U18 as the sum of these two. Right? And when you equate it, you can see 19 is equals to n minus 1. And sorry, 19 is n minus 1 and 18 is equals to n minus 2. We want to find the term in the sequence. Term being n. Remember, the term must be n, right? So if we make n the subject, if we carry across plus minus 1, it's going to be 19 plus 1, which is equals to n. So n is equals to 20. And then for this one, you would carry this across, it would be n is equals to 18 plus 2, which is also equal to 20. So what term in the sequence is the sum of U18 and U19? That is the 20th term in the sequence. And that is how you would do this question. Right. Part 3 says, show that U20, this is minus U19 is equals to U19 minus U17. All right, we already know from above that U20 is equals to U18 plus U19. All right, that is from above. If we remember, we just now said that U20 was that. And then U19 would be equals to U18 plus U17. Right? So you're going to put in the place of 19. Yeah, in the place of 19, you're going to put this. So let's put it, instead of U20, you're going to put this. So it's U18 plus U19, all right, minus U19 is equal to U19. Sorry, no. Instead of U19, you put in U18, right? U18 plus U17 minus U17. Right, so you put these values we know as U20 and we know as U19, you put it in this here. So we have U19 minus U19, whatever values it is, that will cancel out each other. Then we have U17 and minus U17, right? And what we remain with? U18 is equal to U18. Right? So therefore, that is how we would show U20 minus U19 is equal to, is that it? No. Yeah, is equal to U19 minus U17. So you just put all the values that we know inside here and you cancel out. You see the 19s cancel out, the 18s, the 17s cancel out, and what remained was U18 and U18. Whatever value U18 may be. And that is how you would do this question.